Somebody helped to create this unbelievable American system that we have that allowed you to thrive. Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, those words will live in infamy, and also more or less on the cover of a great new book by the one and only Michelle Malkin, and it is called Who Built That? Awe-inspiring stories of American Tinkerpreneurs. That's right, Tinkerpreneurs, and that's a great word and a great title. Michelle Malkin, it is so great to talk to you.
It is my honor to join you, Steve. Thank you so much.
Well, it's been a long time. Congratulations on the book. We just put it up on the screen. And did a light go off in your head when he said that? Is that when the idea for the book started?
Yeah, you know, not only did the light go off, but I know, like so many of your viewers and listeners, that the blood pressure spiked, too, because this progressive sentiment, this poisonous, cancerous, progressive agenda of humiliating and shaming people who are financially successful has to stop. And so when I started the book, I was very angry, and I joke about this in the introduction. But what it turned into was a very joyful celebration of unsung American inventors and entrepreneurs. And I really do think, Steve, that it is up to us, because certainly there are so many hacks and slacks in D.C. who are not going to do the job that needs to be done to inculcate in our children a foundational respect and gratitude for individuals, not the collective, that are the drivers of innovation in our country.
Well, you consider yourself an internet entrepreneur, and you've been a beneficiary of what this country has had to offer, living the American dream. And this book takes a look at people that, some we've heard of, and I was surprised at some of them to hear Abraham Lincoln, for instance, with a patent, and Mark Twain, but also many people that we don't know their names, but they all shared the common link.
Yeah, they did. And of course, Obama will pay grudging lip service to people who came before us that deserve the credit. But he's not talking about the founding fathers. Of course, this man is completely ignorant, abjectly ignorant of American history. And, of course, whitewashing the fact that it was our founding fathers who celebrated, venerated, and bequeathed to us a free market economy that allowed people to profit from their ideas, from the fruit of their labor, from the fruit of their minds, and to do so without any kind of apology or shame. They would roll over in their graves knowing that the man who's sitting in the White House openly denigrates people who have achieved. That is the essence of the American dream. And, Steve, I think one of the reasons why I'm so motivated to go out there and preach the gospel of our free market economy and capitalism is because, yes, I am absolutely a beneficiary of that. And I do not give credit to Obama or Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, or Bernie Sanders. No, that goes to every other capitalist who has stood before us and paved the way, not because they cared about us. The people who invented toilet paper and the bottle caps and the modern flashlight that I highlight in the book, they didn't care about me. They didn't care about you. They cared about their products. They cared about their dream, their vision. Yes, they cared about making money. Yes, they cared about creating jobs and expanding and holding multiple patents and working themselves into the very last day that God granted them on this earth. And that is the essence of the American dream. That's what makes America exceptional. And, of course, that's what Obama and his minions have wanted to sabotage since day one of their administration.
Well, is he succeeding? I mean, I don't know how, and you and I haven't talked in a long time, I still don't know how, in a fair election, Barack Obama could possibly have been, I know Romney wasn't the best candidate, but look, people were living the results of the first 4 years of Obama. Yeah. And I'm talking economically only, okay? Forget them. Yeah. So how could he have gotten reelected then? And how could Hillary, who is praising Obama to a large extent and his policies and wants to carry them even further to the left, how could she get elected when people are suffering and people are being stifled?
Steve, this is really the million-dollar question. And for me, it goes back to first things, the basics. The idea that we have generations and generations of kids who have been absolutely brainwashed by Olimpiite social justice warriors who see their primary mission as turning our kids into the next generation of junior lobbyists and Democratic voters, rather than inculcating them with sound American values and knowledge inside their heads. And so it's not just Common Core, it's everything that came before that, No Child Left Behind and outcome-based education and Goals 2000. And who do we have to blame for this? And here I think we get into politics, because it's not just, the left could not do this by themselves. They had to do it in cahoots with big government Republicans who've helped them and enabled them every step of the way.
You're absolutely right.
And that's, I mean, that's what accounts for things like Common Core. That's what accounts for things like all of these disgraceful government bailouts. You know, it was unfortunately George W. Bush who pre-socialized this economy for Barack Obama. And when you have these generations of young Americans who have no clue about what it takes, the work, and the amount of individual creativity and individual initiative that is responsible for success in America. Instead, these are people who think that Solyndra is their idea.
Right, right. Well, it's all brilliantly addressed in Michelle's book, Who Built That? Awe-Inspiring Stories of American Tinkerpreneurs. And we're coming back. Don't go away, because Michelle's coming back. We're going to talk some more with her. There's the book up on your screen. You do well to get a hold of it. And when we do come back, you can tell me what Abraham Lincoln got a patent on, and Mark Twain, too, for that matter. More with Michelle Malkin. Don't go away.
You said a woman enjoys intercourse with her man as she fantasizes being raped by 3 men simultaneously. Your campaign described it as satire. Can you explain this essay?
Sure. Look, this is a piece of fiction that I wrote in 1972, I think. That was 43 years ago. It was very poorly written, and if you read it, what it was dealing with gender stereotypes, why some men like to oppress women, why other women like to be submissive. You know, something like 50 Shades of Grey.
Hey, he was just way ahead of his time. That's it. Michelle Malkin is back with us, author of the book, Who Built That? Michelle, you know, if Rick Santorum or any other Republican candidates had written this 40 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago, that's all you would have heard about, and they would have been out. Chuck Todd had him on Meet the Press. It was the 5th question, the last question, and he didn't follow up with anything. He just let him say it was poorly written and it was 45 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. Meet the lapdog. You know, the idea that this rape fantasy was really actually pro-feminist, I think what galls me even more, of course, is all of these same Democrats who were screaming war on women during the last election cycle are all tumbling and fumbling all over themselves to defend this socialist pervert. Seriously.
but you know what, Michelle? Here's the thing. They don't even have to, because nobody's talking about it. The media won't talk about it.
Yeah. You know, I think this came out in one of these friendly liberal
Mother Jones, yeah, Mother Jones,
right? And now they just sort of the same. It's the same strategy with these people. Well, we'll just sort of get it out there and get it out of the way. And once again, the lapdog press, the stenographers for liberalism in the media are all over. But you know what? Thank goodness for outlets like yours and Newsmax and voices like yours. The synergy between talk radio and new choices on TV and the blogosphere to amplify and to confront these people on things that they don't want to talk about. I think it's a lot harder to get away with these things than it used to be, and it is because of the true diversity in the media that they wish didn't exist.
All right, quickly, who do you like on the Republican side at this point?
Well, I hate to answer real quickly because, of course, I don't really have one candidate right now. If I'm on any team, it's team conservative. I want the most conservative candidate, somebody who actually really does truly adhere to the Constitution And I warned in the last segment about big government Republicans. We've already had 2 experiments, 3 experiments now over the last several presidential election cycles where the establishment and moderates got their way. And you know what they say about the definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over again.
Well, you know what,
again,
Michelle? We'll have you back in the near future, and we'll go in depth. We'll do a whole segment on that. But before you go, from the book Who Built That, very quickly, now we got less than a minute, what patents did Abraham Lincoln and Mark Twain, separately, of course, what patents did they get?
These are 2 of the coolest inventors that we have in American history. Mark Twain had several patents, including one for a little game that he had invented and a self-adhesive scrapbook. He was the godfather of scrapbooking. There you go, Prince Tinkerpreneurs.
And Lincoln?
Lincoln, who invented a device to float boats that had been stuck on the shoals that came from, of course, from his experience on the river when he was a young man delivering cargo. Cool guy.
Very good. And your website, MichelleMalkin.com?
It's at MichelleMalkin.com, and of course you can get Who Built That at every major bookstore online and in bricks and mortar.
Michelle, great to talk to you. Thank you. We'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, up next, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., folks. Don't go away.